Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm happy you're here. I thought I'd put together a process video to show you how I created this spread in my art journal. It was following Kasia Avery's Soothe Me art journaling prompts. This is day one and she had us spilling ink, so I figured I should reinforce the fairly thin pages in my handmade art journal with some gesso. So that's what I did. I kind of worked around the honeycomb stenciling that's in there because I wanted to keep that. And then after spilling the ink, I was supposed to, according to her instructions, and I always follow instructions, use a crayon to write in the ink. The inks that I used are an acrylic ink from Liquitex called Turquoise Deep and a Ranger color wash ink in Stream, a little bit of that fluorescent pink Dollar Roundy, and then made some marks with these Stabilo Woodies. And I used a damp brush to kind of spread the color around, and it created kind of a cool effect with the gesso that was there. Kind of some nice pastels working in the background. I like the way that turned out. And I chose my magazine clippings, images, whatever, for my focal point according to the yellow oxide, you know, honeycomb stenciling that was already there. So this woman in a yellow dress was like the initial choice, and then I chose the flowers to go around her based on the fact that they had that yellow in their centers, and that's how I chose to create the focal image for this spread. And I always like to add a little bit of whatever's in the focal point elsewhere in the journal to kind of balance it out. So that's why I'm adding some of her dress that I've ripped off and elsewhere on the page. These words I created using that Liquitex acrylic ink and just a brush onto some dictionary text. And I glued them down so that the text in the dictionary is kind of lined up, not tilted. But that means the words were tilted because that's how I drew them on the page. And then I used this Lyra graphite crayon stick to add my dimension, highlighting or low lighting the images, and it had a lot of pigment in it. I guess it's a 9B, so a pretty soft crayon or stick. So I had a lot of pigment to work with here, more than I'm used to with just my Marksaw that I usually use. So I added it to the bottom of the words on that dictionary text, and I think it helped integrate those pieces into the spread a little bit. Okay, for the doodling part, I'm using my Signo Uniball white gel pen. This part of the art journaling process is one of the most fun for me. Even just something as simple as little dots can be just a meditative process for me to add in. And it really does add a personal touch to the journal spread because they're my own marks. I started keeping a little glossary of doodling, just things that I usually doodle that are like my personal preference for little marks or doodles that I add to my journal pages. And just so that I have that and I don't have to sit around wondering what I should do, I can go in and look at my little glossary and say, oh, there's a mark I like, and use that. And it may be a sign of my 55-year-old brain not remembering things that makes this so helpful to me, but I figure why not? It's something I can rely on. And of course, nothing is going to be complete for me without another drop of pink, in this case that fluorescent ink that I love so much. And this, I just let it dry by the air. I didn't blow it or anything. It just sat out and these little dots of pink dried. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope I'll see you in the next one.